sky are there any planets around those stars. Almost every star has planets around it. A fifth to a third probably have Earth-sized planets around it. For the nearest stars, James Webb is going to be able to observe those and do spectroscopy of those planets, and so I'm very excited about that, if they're transiting. But we got to find them first. We don't know the catalog of our neighbors. We don't know how many have planets and where they are. But the Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite that we just selected will launch in 2017. It's TESS. And TESS is being run out of MIT, which has the most astronauts of any university. We'll have to arm wrestle. But there are people who went to both Purdue and MIT, so it's a counting game. And actually, that's of non-service academies. The Naval Academy holds claim to the most astronauts. So what can you say? But anyway, TESS is run out of MIT, and it's going to launch in 2017. So it's going to give a catalog of all the places to look for our neighbors with the James Webb Space Telescope and ground-based telescopes. Planetary science. We took a big hit in the budget to planetary science, but we're still doing a lot of great stuff. We have Curiosity roving on Mars. We have participation in the 2016 and 2018 missions with the European Space Agency, their ExoMars program. We just confirmed the InSight mission, which is going to land on Mars. It launches in 2016, which is a single-site geophysical monitoring station. So that's the first. We've orbited Mars. We've landed and roved on Mars. This is the first time we're going to look inside of Mars and understand, core, crust, coupling, history. We're going to watch, the slow wobble of Mars. Really great stuff. Measure heat flow. Along with MAVEN, which just launched, and our partners with our friends in India who launched their MOM mission. Just great stuff going on at Mars as well. Juno to Jupiter, it's on its way. New Horizons, I mentioned that. In heliophysics, we're continuing to expand our fleet of satellites to study the sun, and I had a really great experience last week on Tuesday, when I was able to accompany Ed Stone on the Colbert Show. And he was just outstanding. How many of you saw that? Yep. And I'd arranged for him to get the NASA Distinguished Public Service Medal, which is NASA's highest medal for a non-NASA employee. And Colbert was able to give that to him wearing the 1950s funky spacesuit. And he came out and he was floating and there was smoke and he said, "I'm Sandra Bullock." It was pretty funny. And Ed was totally surprised. And Ed is one of my science heroes. Just an incredible guy. He's the smartest guy I know. Ed Stone, Caltech. Oh, good. And of course, Voyager, the first spacecraft to enter interstellar space. And I still smile at that because it's just incredible. The space age is not that old, and we sent our first spacecraft to interstellar space. And I really do believe that portends a future where humans will go into interstellar space on their way to that other Earth someday. To me, that's the promise. That's what gives me optimism about climate change and the other things, is that we're going to discover another Earth. We're going to change our minds about how we're treating our home planet, take better care of it so that we can have a future. All right. So we have 97 missions, 122 spacecraft. Last year we launched 9 balloons, 21 Sounding rockets, 3,300 airborne hours. I was working on a pitch for something, I don't remember what it was, when this appeared in my inbox from Alan Leshner, the head of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. And so when we think about the budget, he said, these are difficult economic times to be sure, but forward-looking investments like those in basic science are critical to stimulating growth in any fiscal climate. We believe that elected officials in the United States need to be reminded, as they lean into the important work of reducing national deficits or creating a budget that we can actually use and work with, that basic discoveries, untethered from immediate business goals, spark ingenuity, innovation, and prosperity long into the future. And this message has been said over and over again, really since the end of World War II, when the modern science area, federally funded science began. And it's something that's really important when we communicate, to remember that. So where are we going? This is Hersch and Schmitt on his second space flight on Mars. No, that's Harrison Schmitt on the moon. Through the wonders of Photoshop, I poorly recolored to look like Mars. That's actually an Earth rock, by the way, on Mars. No. Anyway, where are we going? This is, I did this while I was sitting in the audience, thinking, I didn't have any charts when I walked in the room, but Ellen's were so cool, I thought I should put something together. This is where I think we should be going, to get scientists on the surface of another planetary body to look for signs of past life, or, of course we'll bring extant life with us, but look for signs of life on Mars, whether molecular fossils or who knows. Curiosity is doing that today. Curiosity has gone, not quite 5 kilometers in a year. So, an astronaut on Mars, and probably hopping is still the right mode on Mars. The gravity's light enough, that would take about an hour. Now, you'd stop a lot, but nevertheless, in the rover, much less. I think that's where we should be going. And so with that, I'll open it up to questions.